Hi, welcome to Stories from the Writing Chair, or what happens when I actually write. Today I'm going to read from my novella, Consecrated, which is a prequel to my novel, Defenders of the Covenant, although it can be enjoyed completely on its own. And this is also available on Amazon if you check out the link below. A stream of iridescent soap bubbles drifted in the bright September sky. 2-year-old Caleb laughed and danced after them. The sunlight lit up his hair like a golden halo around his head. Carly Emerson smiled, watching her dear little boy. Days like this were the reason she loved Provo in the fall. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Something like smoke tickled her nose and the back of her throat. A sound floated on the breeze, standing her hairs on end. A deep rumble and the high overtones of sirens. What was that? She opened her eyes, suddenly afraid. Caleb was nowhere in sight. Her heart jumped into her throat. Caleb! She came around the side of the house and spotted him squatting at the end of the driveway, examining a bug or something. The unsettling noises grew louder, the heavy pounding rumble, sirens, screams. The burning smell made her gag. Caleb! Carly ran toward him. He straightened, looked around, and began to cry. Carly faltered when she saw the giant, faceless machines in the shape of men gleaming black in the sunshine. They carried gun-like weapons she didn't recognize. For a moment, shock froze her to the spot. Then Caleb's frightened cries spurred her forward again. But in his terror, Caleb ran away from her, across the front lawn. Maybe he was trying for the door. Maybe he thought she was still in the backyard. Whatever the reason, he didn't see her behind him. The faceless soldiers spread out over the street, breaking down doors, firing weapons. From the corner of her eye, she saw one of them coming toward her and Caleb. Mommy! She almost had him. Her fingers brushed his waist, but a cold, dark hand wrapped around Caleb's arm and snatched him away from her. No! She kept running, trying to reach him. Caleb's face turned red from screaming as he dangled from the soldier's grasp. He twisted, stretching his arm out toward her. The monsters had other children too. Austin Parker from 2 doors down, and Maddie and Becca from across the street. Their frantic, desperate wails pierced her to the core. The unnatural soldiers moved so fast she couldn't keep up. Caleb! Baby! Carly screamed, her throat raw. One of the soldiers turned around and leveled its gun at her. She dropped to the ground and felt the white-hot laser bolt pass over her. There was a tremendous cracking sound, and before Carly could get up, half an old maple crashed down on top of her. The upper branches and leaves pinned her to the ground. She tried to claw her way out. Rough bark scraped painfully against her arms. She could still hear Caleb screaming for her, still picture his eyes wide with terror. She had to get to him, to get him away from the soldiers. She had to. The cacophony ricocheted around her brain, a symphony of suffering. She struggled to break free, but the tangle of tree limbs held her fast. Oh, Caleb, dear God, not my precious boy. She scrabbled forward one last time before she slumped, insensible beneath the leaves. Images played over and over in her mind. Soap bubbles and soldiers and her little boy torn, screaming from her hands. Oh, why, God? Why?